With inspiring stories of new age youth stars from Delhi, this is Radio 1 Youth Stars, honoring city's own youth stars.
Welcome back to Youth Star. This is Drive Delhi, and as always, I have a youth star for the day. And today, well, he's fit, that's for sure, and I guess he can also beat a few people up. We're talking to Siddharth Singh, who is the founder of Crosstrain Fight Club. And Siddharth, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolute pleasure to be here.
All right, and how does it feel to be a youth star?
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good. You're doing something different, getting to do things that you love, and making that a job, making that a breadwinner. So I think it definitely takes a lot of courage. And why don't you tell us about your journey and how it all started?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that I enjoy doing. I'd heard a lot about doing things that you're passionate about.
Right.
And
so where did the passion begin? Where did it all start?
It started off when I was 12 years old, and I went to school in Dehradun,
Okay.
school, and my elder brother was already there, and he was one of the top boxers in school.
Okay.
So for me, boxing was something that I was really scared to do.
All right.
Because
Obviously,
blood
yeah,
and all that.
Yeah.
But because my brother was there and he was doing it so well, I just wanted to give it a shot.
Okay.
And I tried it, and once I was in it, I wasn't scared anymore. It was just fun, it came naturally to me, and that's how I got started.
All right.
School.
So it started with boxing, and then that was in school, and you've also you told me that you were with different sort of sports as well. You're quite the sportsman. And when did it all? When did you decide to mix it all up?
Well, in school and in Doon especially, you're encouraged to play sports. A whole plethora of sports.
Right.
So I did cricket, I did hockey, I did gymnastics, boxing, running, distance running, we did all of that. But boxing for me was the most challenging one.
Okay.
And I did that for 6 years, and I was awarded the most technical boxer in school when I was in class 12.
All right.
After that, I came to DU, did my economics honors here, and I realized that there wasn't any place to train.
Right.
There's no place to do boxing.
Right.
Either you go to the stadium or, figure something out, but it was really hard to find a good place.
Okay.
So I did what most people do who want to get fit, go to the gym.
Right.
So I went, lifted a lot of weight, put on like 15 kilos, ate like 20 eggs a day.
Lots of muscle and...
lots of muscle, a lot of fat.
Yeah.
Became slow, sluggish.
Yeah.
And then I thought I was a badass. I'd done boxing and I was now big.
Yeah.
And then I went to Scotland to do my master's degree in economics.
Okay, all right.
And I was invited to play a football game. I was like, played football before.
Bring it on.
Yeah, shouldn't be hard.
Yeah.
And within 5 minutes, I was gassed. I was sitting outside, and it was just embarrassing.
Right.
So that's when I realized that, listen, this gymming thing doesn't
a lot of people have this, everybody thinks the gym is the answer, but it really isn't. I mean, it is if you control what kind of weights you do and how fluid you still can be. So
exactly. I think majority of the people have been gymming for cosmetic reasons.
Right.
They want to have big biceps.
Yeah,
and big
everybody
chest.
is just worried about that. Yeah.
That isn't functional though. Like like I said, if your friends call you out for a football game and you look like the most fit guy, and you're sitting on the corner after 5 minutes, that's just wrong.
It's quite
you might as well have the reputation of not doing anything and still play.
All right, so that's when it came to you that you had to stop gymming and you had to do something else. And so what you do is just tell us a little bit about what exactly Crosstrain Fight Club does.
So we are one of the first, not the first, but one of the first mixed martial arts schools in India.
Okay.
We are so mixed martial arts by itself is the fastest growing sport in the world. It's a combination of every single martial art known to man combined into one sport. Now that can be, it's a huge thing. So you've got like karate, taekwondo, wushu, boxing, wrestling, all of that combined into one sport.
Right.
So what we do is we teach you fighting.
Okay.
And fighting for fitness and fighting for self-defense.
All right.
So a lot of people come in with who've had bad experiences with self-defense. The people who've come in extremely unfit. So we teach them different martial arts, and through that medium they also get fit and they build on their confidence.
All right. So it's all about Crosstrain Fight Club, and of course Siddharth Singh, who's the youth star for the day, and we have a lot more coming up right here on Drive Delhi. Don't go anywhere. More music right now. More with Siddharth Singh on the other side.
With inspiring stories of new age youth stars from Delhi, this is Radio 1 Youth Stars, honoring city's own youth stars.
Still talking to Siddharth Singh, who is the Radio 1 Youth Star of the Day, a founder of Crosstrain Fight Club. And Siddharth, you told me about what you do. Mixed martial arts is what you focus on. And you said a lot of people come in who've had bad experiences and things like that. But are people coming in because they want to learn to fight, to defend themselves, or are they coming for fitness?
About 80% of everyone who comes in is coming in for fitness.
For fitness,
Yeah.
okay.
And only about 5% would actually want to be
Yeah.
fighters.
Right.
So yeah, I mean it's a good question because people have different goals, different objectives. They've had a different journey
Right.
leading up to them actually making the call to Crosstrain Fight Club.
Right,
I want to train, and they have different stories to tell. Some people have gone to street fights. They've had bad experience. Some people generally are quite reserved, have low self-confidence. They come in trying to learn new arts. It's just a form of expression for them.
Right.
And yeah, women come in again trying to get fit, but they pretty much everybody stays on because of the way we train, the philosophy behind the training, the fun that we have while training. So they come in for a certain goal and they stay for the experience.
All right, they stay for the experience. And well, when it comes to mixed martial arts, there's a saying. I mean, everybody says jack of all trades and master of none. I just want to bring this in here because is mixed martial arts in a way you're not being specific to one particular art form and you're doing a little bit of everything. So how would you explain that and say that no, it's still okay because this is more helpful than just specializing in one?
Yeah, it's the most comprehensive fight system in the world. Like I was talking to you earlier, it's imagine you get into a street fight and you boxed all your life. You're a really good boxer.
Yeah.
And you end up fighting with someone who's an akhade ka wrestler. On a street fight.
Yeah. It's all strength versus.
Before you start moving like a butterfly, he grabs your legs, picks you up over his head, and slams you on the concrete.
And
all the wind is knocked out of you, and you have nowhere to go.
Right.
Then he's sitting on top of you. You have nothing to do, and he beats you up really bad.
All right.
So that's the point. The point is just being one-dimensional is not
enough. Yeah.
Because you could be, it's not just about.
You got to know the technique of every form of martial art, and so you could.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's one of the things that we say in when we're training is being comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
Right.
So all uncomfortable situations we have an answer for.
Right.
So if you're on your back, someone's on top of you, there are two people on top of you, you should still be comfortable to deal with those eventualities.
And
that's what we train.
wow, so that's quite something. And I think considering we all live in a city like Delhi, I think it's needed, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
scary.
trouble is always around the corner.
There's always someone looking for a fight.
There's always someone looking for a fight. And personally, have you been in any of them?
I have.
Just to get in a little bit of.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, and I've spoken to my students about it, we strongly discourage people to get into fights.
Obviously.
And they do.
Yeah.
My students have never initiated any fight. We always walk away. We say, okay. And I'll tell you why. The reason is, once you start to understand and appreciate what your body is capable of doing, you start to appreciate how much damage you can impose on someone.
Right.
All of a sudden it changes you as a person.
All right.
So yeah, I've had fights where I haven't actually hit back. I've controlled myself and I've controlled the opponent. I've just controlled. I've got sleeve grip, collar grip.
Right.
And controlled him.
So it's all about self-defense more than attack.
I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to hit him.
Right.
The point is, which most people don't understand, is a lot of people watch movies, could be Hollywood, Bollywood, to see the hero smack 20 people at once.
Right.
In reality, most people's bodies haven't gone 100%. When you push yourself hard, it's a different feeling. So your mind is racing at a different pace, heart's going at a different pace. Your body might not be accustomed to going 100%.
Okay.
You might go for 5 minutes really hard and then you really get tired.
Right.
We, in our training, we do 9-minute rounds back to back. So
9-minute rounds?
9-minute rounds. We go 100% with each other.
Okay.
Especially with ground fighting, because in ground fighting you don't hurt, you don't punch anyone. So you're trying to submit each other, you're going 100%, everything you have for 9 minutes. 30 seconds break, have water, find a new partner, go again for 9 minutes.
Wow.
We do 5 rounds.
It's a bit like high intensity interval training.
Exactly. But the only difference is rather than you trying to pick up a weight, here someone's trying to break your arm off.
Yeah, arm
and you have to defend yourself. That's the most. I mean, what motivation do you need?
All right. Well, brilliant. That's a bit about what Crosstrain Fight Club does. And if you want a piece of the action, well, we will be finding out where it's open and where you function from. It's all coming up. This is Radio 1 Youth Star. More with Siddharth Singh on the other side.
With with inspiring stories of new age youth stars from Delhi. This is Radio 1 Youth Stars, honoring city's own youth stars.
Yes, still in conversation with Siddharth Singh, founder of Crosstrain Fight Club, and he's our youth star for the day. And Siddharth, just a little bit about, well, of course, this is something that you started, you said, in 2012.
Yes.
So before this, what were you doing before you had this gem of an idea and decided to take it up?
Yeah, I was in the UK for 6 years. I used to work for a brand management company.
Okay.
Sporting and fashion brand. And so it was basically an Italian fashion brand that I used to work for. I was the regional business manager. Okay. And I was responsible for the EMEA region, which is Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Asia.
All right.
And yeah, I was there for 6 years, and then I was just I loved the job. I loved traveling. I loved being in Europe.
If you loved that, so what made you come back here and do this? Because it's always
absolutely. That's a really good question. My parents ask me that every day. So yeah, the point is it's the sense of creating something out of nothing.
All right.
I knew the feeling of being in Delhi and not having a good place to train, knowing how fast the sport was growing worldwide, and how behind India was in terms of the sport.
Right.
And it was something I was always passionate about. So I thought, no one's doing it. I waited for it. Every time I would come on holidays, I would always want to look for a new place to train, and there was
so you just decided to give up on everything else. Great job in Europe and your time in Europe and everything, and come back to Delhi.
Absolutely. I mean, I always also for myself, it was because I had a full-time job. I used to try and find work, find time to work out, join a MMA club. I used to do once or twice a week. I also wanted to see what I can achieve if I train 6 days a week.
Right.
Honestly, if I'm being truly honest, I wanted to place for myself to train, and if other people come in, it's just an added bonus.
All right, fine. And now I'm sure it's going really well. Are your parents finally convinced, or are they still asking you the same question?
They ask me the same question every day.
So they're not yet convinced.
They're not convinced.
But you will be able to convince them
absolutely. What option do they have?
What option do they have? All right, fine. And just talk to us about where, if people are interested, I'm sure a lot of people suddenly feel like this is something they probably want to take up. So if they want to come to Crosstrain Fight Club, where in Delhi NCR?
So we've got 2 centers right now. We've got 2 centers in Delhi. One is in Safdarjung Enclave. Okay. And the other one is GK2. All right. So those 2 centers in Delhi. We also have a center in Lucknow, in Hazratganj, which is it's almost like the CP of Lucknow. Okay. All right. The main hub. All right. So yeah, 3 centers at the moment for Crosstrain. All right, fine.
And future plans for you, Siddharth? Where you're taking Crosstrain Fight Club?
Yeah, it's a tricky question. There's a lot of with this new movie that's come out as well, Brothers, which is all mixed martial arts. Okay. We get a lot of queries, a lot of people wanting to partner up with us, franchise with us. I don't want to push for expansion anytime soon. Okay. I want to keep the product concise. I want to make sure the training is at the best level. Best level. Not.
And you definitely don't want to give the responsibility to other people.
Exactly. Yeah. The thing is, unlike a gym where you can go and work out, here you need a trainer who can guide you through not just the physical aspect. There's a lot of spiritual aspects to our training. There's a lot of, so in that you need a good guide, a good coach to guide you through it. And no, not any random person can do it. So. So yeah, I want to make sure that our team is ready. We get a good base of trainers before we look to expand, and it's only going to be our guys who are training with us now that will be opening Crosstrain branches in the future.
All right, brilliant. And Siddharth Singh, of course, Crosstrain Fight Club. And I want to ask you one last question before we let you go, and that is, considering you've had a taste of different forms of martial arts, and then you decided to, of course, mixed martial arts is what you're focusing on right now. But where would you say you've had the most fun? Which particular form, or which particular form do you have the most respect for?
Very hard to answer that. Really hard, because it's like choosing between like chocolate and ice cream. I love all of them. I love all of them.
All right.
2 of them.
I thought you were going to go for the Brazilian one because of what we spoke about.
Yeah,
no? That's the reason I even asked you this, but no.
No. But I'll tell you why. I actually I would have a boxing background, so that's my first love.
Right.
So that's what got me into it.
Right.
Muay Thai was just such an eye-opening thing for me. You know, going in and seeing that boxing is not just enough. You get into a fight, you break your wrist. What do you do? How do you attack the guy?
Right.
Well, Muay Thai, you've got elbows, knees, kicks. It's beautiful. It's the most brutal form of fighting. And then, as I spoke to you earlier,
Brazilian,
you know, I'd been training Muay Thai and boxing for over 12 years. And I went for my first class in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which looked really weird on the ground. And I was...
Looked like something that you don't want to get into.
I was like, what are these guys doing on the ground?
What are they doing?
And then I partnered up with this small Iranian girl. She was about 40 kilos.
Okay.
And first, initially, I went light. I took it easy. And she choked me a few times. And choked me almost unconscious. So then I started to go a little hard. Because obviously my male ego got offended. So I started going for it. And still, I was trying to have a cool demeanor, but I was getting choked left, right, and center. And that was shocking for me because I'd been training all my life. That's when I realized that, listen, this is something legit. I need to learn this. I need to learn this discipline.
So basically, every art form does have something to offer, and you wouldn't want to pick one.
And they have different philosophies. They have different approaches to life. I know people who stick to one, and that's their religion. I know guys who will just do Muay Thai, just do Jiu-Jitsu. I think you can learn so much from all of them.
All right, fine. I hope this has been a fantastic lesson. I'm really intrigued. I have a feeling I'm going to be calling you soon.
Awesome.
But all right, thank you so much, Siddharth Singh, for joining us on Youth Star. It's been a pleasure. Absolutely. And yes, all the best to all your future endeavors.
Thanks a lot.
We've got a lot more action on the other side of 9 o'clock, so stick around. This is Drive Delhi. Don't go anywhere.